Welcome everyone to TradeStation and another installment of our Meet the TradeStation Team podcast series. This podcast series is designed to take you inside the heart and soul of TradeStation, to meet the people that are working every day to make your experience with TradeStation the best that it can be.
Welcome everyone to another edition of Meet the TradeStation Team. I'm your host Michael Burke. I'm Vice President of Client Training here at TradeStation. And today we're very privileged to be joined by TradeStation's Albert Paredes, Vice President of Operations, and he's also the Country Manager for TradeStation Global Services. Albert has been with TradeStation for 22 years, starting out in technical support and quality assurance, and he actually rose to manage both of those departments. And now he oversees our software development operations in Costa Rica as the Vice President of Operations. Albert, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
It's my pleasure, Mike. Good to be here.
So Albert, you now hold the record for the guest the farthest away to do one of these podcasts, beaming in from Costa Rica. You were actually one of the first people I ever met when I came to work for TradeStation, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but you've been with the company for 22 years. So talk a little bit about your background and your history here at TradeStation.
Mike, I started working with the company back when it was called Omega Research. I was in 1995. My background was in electrical engineering, but I was looking for anything that was inside an office. I living in Miami. It was pretty hot outside, right? And I was still going to school. So I immediately fell in love with the company company culture, the products. So I didn't think twice to switch into software development from the biomedical actual engineering, which is what I was interested in back in the days. I think what I liked the most about Omega Research back then was, the marriage between the financial aspects and software development. That was very, very interesting to me. And also being surrounded by so many bright people like yourself, Mike.
Thank you, Albert. That's very nice. What a lot of people don't know here at TradeStation is that you were actually my first manager at TradeStation when we were both working in tech support. And I always thought you were great at creating a very productive, very fun working environment. Maybe you can talk a little bit about your management style and how you approach your current role managing a group of very creative engineers.
Well, Mike, thanks for that. And I do remember, yes, you joining the team back in the days. I think, the main thing for me is having a happy and productive employee, right? And I think the main ingredient there is that the employee feeling appreciated for the work they do. And so what I try to do is make sure that, when I speak to employees, they understand their contributions to the company. I think that's super, super important. The learning environment, the culture of wanting to know more, I think that was very characteristic of our company, and it still is. And as well as, the entrepreneurship of, you're making something new, you're making new products and feeling that you're contributing somehow to better serve our customers. So in general, happy employees are productive employees and employees that feel appreciated are employees that are going to give 100% and more to what they're working on. So I think that's key.
I agree with you 100%. And one of the things that you and I have kind of worked on to that end is that, we've always discussed the fact that a lot of the people who come to work for us in engineering don't necessarily have a financial or a trading background. And we've worked together to provide some training and some education on the markets and how traders use our software. And I think that's also very helpful to an engineer so that they're creating tools and they have the perspective of our customers.
And they actually love to delve into the financial side, even though, they're very technical in nature. The financial aspect it makes it very interesting, and especially interesting here in Costa Rica because there's not a lot of companies that are doing that here. So that's especially attractive to young engineers here in Costa Rica.
So Albert, I know that your team in Costa Rica works on a lot of projects. Maybe you can talk about those a little bit. And how many people do you have there in Costa Rica?
Yes, Mike. We have currently 73 employees in Costa Rica, and we work on projects that are for our TradeStation group, our TradeStation Technologies, as well as Monex in Japan. So we have a variety of projects that we work on. We also work on the web engineering side, working on our websites, our TradeStation.com websites, as well as the platform. So we basically cover the whole range of products. We work very closely with the other offices, and we have distributed teams in many cases where we have employees here that are working with employees in Dallas or in Plantation. And we also have the data center operations team, which We recently relocated to Costa Rica back in January, and it's working out pretty well for us.
You know, what's interesting is that maybe a lot of people who are listening to this may not know, but TradeStation is headquartered in South Florida and was founded by two Cuban brothers. So that company has a very strong Latin presence. Everybody speaks Spanish here. I don't speak Spanish, but a lot of people here speak Spanish. And so it was a natural progression to open up an engineering office in Costa Rica.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, we opened the office, it's going to be 5 years now, back in October of 2012. And that was one of the things that we liked about the country. Besides the proximity and the good schools that they have, we also had the same culture. We kind of, we were able to really, work very well together. We have a very similar culture as we do in Plantation.
That office has been incredibly successful so far. So Albert, we're just about out of time, but I can't let you go without talking about what it's like to live in Costa Rica. It's got to be pretty cool living in Costa Rica. Tell us what it's like down there and all of the cool things that you've done while you've been there.
It's been awesome. I mean, I've been here for 2.5 years. My family has traveled here. My kids have traveled here. They all love canopy, zip lining, and that's a very, very popular thing here in Costa Rica. So we enjoy that a lot. We have a combination of being able to be in the mountains, and then 2 hours later, you're by the sea on the ocean. So that's awesome too. Being originally from the South Florida area, you love the beach, right? So here, there's plenty of beach. There's plenty of surfing. If you're into it, I really like to watch it. But it's pretty cool. I mean, the diversity between going from the Pacific Ocean to the mountains is amazing. And then if you drive a little longer, you can get to the Atlantic side, the Caribbean side, which is totally a different world as well. So overall, I mean, it's beautiful. Living here in the valley, the San Jose Valley is very nice. It's 1 kilometer up. So the temperature year-round is, between 70 and 80 degrees. It's amazing. It's really nice. And the people are friendly. Everybody's a friend. I mean, it's super cool. And I think everybody that visits the office can attest to that. You can ask around in the office.
I wish I was an engineer. I'd come down and work for you.
You can still come. You can do this interview one-on-one.
I'm sure there's something I can figure out to do down there. Well, again, I want to thank our guest, Albert Paredes, for spending this time with us today. This was fun, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us, Albert.
It's my pleasure, Mike, and always good talking to you.
And I want to thank everyone for listening, and be sure to tune into more of our TradeStation podcasts. And don't forget to visit our website at TradeStation.com to learn more about our outstanding educational resources and online brokerage services. The preceding podcast was for educational purposes only. All of the symbols and trading ideas discussed by the instructors and guests were for educational purposes and not recommendations. Active trading is not suitable for everyone. Options trading carries a high degree of risk. You can find the characteristic and risks of standardized options disclosure and additional disclosures on the TradeStation website.
TradeStation is an award-winning broker offering trading in stocks, stock options, and futures, all within one trading platform with low commissions. You also get the outstanding TradeStation analysis platform with advanced charting, real-time scanning, and powerful option analytics. Our mobile app lets you take your trading on the road. To learn more, I invite you to visit our website at TradeStation.com.